Integrity Station. We're glad to be here. Happy Easter. It's Easter Monday. So however you're going to spend today, just spend it in decorum. Ensure that you're not extravagant about it and stay safe. That's most important for me. I'm Oluwaseun Akinola. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yes, that's right. Happy holidays to you and yours. Even though we cannot relate, we're still wishing you happy holidays. I am Ibukunoluwa Olagunju.
You got no choice. All right, so welcome. We're here to give you stories from the newspapers and deal with some of the issues that are developing from the news blogs that we have here. So welcome once again. Federal state lawmakers to get 49 billion naira. That's one very big story from Punch newspaper this morning. So
a lot of big figures for this morning.
Yes. And so subsidy removal, marketers plan 30,000 gas stations and seek CBN loans.
Budget 250 billion naira for that.
Okay, so we'll be looking at that story. There's a story that says governors under pressure over security vote spending. That's one story that you can find in the Nation newspaper this morning. Supplementary polls, opposition parties, this is coming from the Nation newspaper. Supplementary polls, opposition parties rally to seize control of National Assembly. And there are some figures here. There will be supplementary balloting for 2 governorship seats, 5 senatorial district seats, 31 House of Representatives, 2 in Oyo State that I'm aware of, 57 state constituency seats. The APC currently had the upper hand in the results of the February 25 Presidential National Assembly election and March 18 governorship and state assembly polls. So APC won the presidency, 15 governorship, 57 Senate seats, 162 House of Representative seats, and over 440 state assembly seats. The PDP has 9 governorship seats currently, while the Labour Party, LP, and New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, have 1 state each. The scores for the other parties in this Senate are PDP 33, Labour Party 8 seats, NNPP 2 seats, Social Democratic Party SDP 2 seats, and All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA 1, Young Progressives Party 1 seat. Same figures in the House of Rep: PDP 105, LP 34, NNPP 18, APGA 4, SDP 2, African Democratic Congress 2, and YPP 1. So that's the data for. So you see how APC, PDP will slug it out for the Senate. What I see is that there will be a ganging up of the opposition party against the ruling party if they do not have overwhelming majority. And that may upset a lot of things, particularly in the House of Representatives. There may be some upset there. Okay, so we watch, if that is possible. This story, our church reopens 10 months after terror attack. On June 5, 2022, gunmen stormed the Catholic church located at Oluwaseun Street in Owo and opened fire on the congregants. No fewer than 41 worshippers of the church were massacred by the bandits who detonated explosives while disguising themselves as worshippers during the violent attack. I recall that day.
It feels like yesterday when the Goric pictures were viral.
And videos.
I think June 2022.
And June 5, 2022.
And the church had to be shut just in respect of those that were lost and, of course, for security reasons as well. And it's getting reopened 10 months later in time for Easter. You know, was it the bishop was talking about how resilient they were for even, coming back and all of that. I mean, it's just definitely links up back to the security state of our state and as well as our country generally.
Well, thank God that they're back now. There is this story for video. Pastor refers to Peter Obi as president during church service in London. I mean, it can only be in London. If you do that in Nigeria, it becomes treasonable action. Buhari or Shibajo governors, Awolowo or Dosumu, others paid tributes as Bola Ajibola dies at 89. That was one eminent jurist that passed on yesterday, and the entire news space was taken over by his demise, and everybody everybody commiserating rather with the family. I know he was a mentor to the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, and a lot of other jurists in the country. He contributed. He's the founder of Crescent University in Abeokuta. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
There's this crisis rocking. And okay, attached to that is this story that I also saw yesterday. A businesswoman was found dead at a hotel in Oyo State.
Oh, God. And a lot of comments have definitely been trailing that, what she was doing there. And, and to think that it's a hotel close by here in Akobo that it happened. And according to reports, she actually checked in with the man to the hotel the previous night, and the man checked out earlier in the morning, and later on, obviously...
They called her.
Obviously, there was supposed to be a time for her to check out.
Yeah, and they called her while the guy was checking out. They called her if she was okay with the guy checking out while she was still there. And the report said, she said, fine, that the guy could go.
And, they were expecting her to check out when it was time to leave the hotel. And when they didn't see her, they had to go check. And then they found the lady dead. And, it's really quite sad, definitely. And that has, been linking to how they met. Did they meet online? And a lot of questions.
I know I have a lot of questions about
I do, too.
I wonder why, what is the relationship between her and the man? Why they have to be in the hotel overnight? If it was her business, was she there for business or for something else? And
then why did the guy even leave before her?
The guy left, and then she was spoken to, and she
said fine
that he could go. And so what happened between that time and when she was found dead?
And then what is the credibility of her actually being spoken to? Hope it's not damage control by the hotel as well.
Yeah.
Just to cover their tracks.
Is there a way
people check in?
Is there a way we can verify?
Another thing that people have been asking for is the CCTV of the hotel.
So we could see who the guy is.
And probably track down his identity. Yeah, definitely.
So much question. Nigerians frustrated with election outcome. That's Reverend Father Kuka speaking right here this morning, and maybe a slice of that story. Nigerians frustrated with election outcome. Kuka says justice seems impossible. Ask Nigerians to reclaim Nigeria they know before Buhari. Catholic Archbishop of Sokoto, Matthew Kuka, said yesterday Nigerians were frustrated by the outcome of the 2023 election, asking them to rise and reclaim their country from the clutches of the current administration, whatever that means, actually. But there's this story that I started with. Federal state lawmakers to get 49 billion naira. I think we should get that story. It's from Punch newspaper, and I want us to maybe take a bit of that story before we go for a commercial break. The salaries and allowances for the incoming lawmakers may cost the country about 49 billion naira. According to Punch newspaper, the figure covers the salaries and allowances of state and federal lawmakers. The salaries and allowances are based on data collated from a document obtained from the website of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Commission. However, the total allowances are higher than reported, as amount for a number of allowances was not disclosed. And I wish that we discuss this maybe at 8 o'clock.
I mean, the breakdown.
Did you see the breakdown?
Yes.
I mean, so get a copy of Punch newspaper or go to Google, search for Punch newspaper and read that report. Every well-meaning Nigerian should read that report, actually. And so you see the breakdown of how much
for a country that keep claiming we don't have money to do the necessary things. And it's actually quite sad when I later saw a headline from the same Punch newspaper talking about how marketers are planning 30,000 gas stations, the headline that you took earlier, and seeking CBN loans just to, cushion the effects that subsidy removal might have on citizens, and a lot of other issues definitely.
So I mean, when we're talking about the $800 million that we are getting from the World Bank, and you're thinking, I mean, somebody sent me a message. I think it was one of our listeners who sent me a message tagged me on Twitter of a video that shows how the intervention, the cash transfer intervention of the federal government has been helping some people in Abaji, in Abuja. And when I listened to the lady speaking very good English, and I was wondering, how it was difficult for me. She among the poorest of the poor, with the kind of language that I heard her speaking, But we do not have to look for those who have been impacted by this cash transfer. Like we're searching for a needle in a haystack. I mean, you don't have to ask people how much the train that was put along Lagos Ibadan, has been affecting people's lives. You don't have to ask. You don't have to look for people that have been affected by the road between Lagos and Ibadan have been done. And factually, by April, everything will have been done. You don't have to ask questions about how some of this infrastructure impacted the lives of people. You don't have to be looking for videos. I mean, you can see it. Why can't we also see, easily without having to see packaged videos? Meet Nigerians, regular Nigerians. Why do they have to be some kind of people that are in obscurity that we can't find easily? So if we use that money to do 30,000 gas stations, for instance, loan these in business people, ask them to fix it and co-locate it with filling stations across Nigeria and help people to convert to gas, CNG. We won't be looking for them to find and speak with them about how this has been impacting their life as they transit from using fossil fuel to gas, So my argument, but when he said to me, I read it and I smiled and I was wondering, we don't have to be scoring for videos to see how what government has done impact people's lives. That's just my argument.
And to think about the states that we have and the corners that we have in Nigeria, and we're thinking about 30,000 to solve such problem. And I'm like, okay, this is to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy. And I'm like, for how long can these, how long is it going to, take to really be able to cushion the effect and not make sure, and to make sure that people do not have to go through worse of what they went through when there was hike in the petrol prices, and that period happens to be the time where there was, cash strap as well. There's just a lot to ponder on as Nigerians, and just hope that we will not have to go through that turmoil all over again.
Yeah, Abiru Falaye says the businesswoman who died at the hotel should be investigated at large by the authority in charge. The hotelier president of Oyo State should summon the manager of that hotel for reorientation on guidelines for checking out of guests. The identity of the man should be traced. Where is the CCTV camera report? I think the police should be on this game really well. We shouldn't just let it, fly away that way. There's this story. Loan apps on Play Store will lose the ability to access their users' contact or photos from May 31st, 2023. This came as the federal government said it will enforce the latest policy by Google, saying the action was consistent with the Nigerian authorities' move to curtail the invasion of customers' privacy by loan app firms. The federal government had in recent times taken major decisions aimed at tackling the violation of customers' privacy by loan apps. Notably, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission had recently registered 170 loan apps out of the 200 operating in the country. Google, in its April 2023 policy update, said the new policy update will provide respite for loan app users in Nigeria and other places that have become accustomed to crude loan retrieval methods employed by a majority of loan apps. I understand that. I also will say that a lot of Nigerians collect loans from these apps and wouldn't want to pay back.
But that does not mean that you should have access to their privacy,
so
their contacts.
But that means you should take their money and don't want them to pay back.
No, but
how else should they get their money back?
Me coming to you for a business transaction, which you do, offering loans to people, does not mean that I get to be deprived of my privacy.
I agree.
There are banks that actually normal banks, there are certain requirements that you would have to provide, like your BVN, like your NIN, that ensure that you get to refund their money. So maybe they can for me to say, okay, I want to come to you to get a loan from you, and I say, oh, okay, this is part of the requirement for you to be able to get this. If I can be able to give you that as the person that wants to give me loan, then I can have access to your loan. But that does not mean that because I'm getting your loan, then you now invade my privacy. You now start sending messages to people on the contact and be like...
I agree. I'm saying that why do they have to invade people's privacy?
That's the point.
Do they invade people's privacy even when they didn't pay their loans? They invaded the privacy because people didn't pay the loans. So I guess if we are doing these laws, we should find a way by which these guys will retrieve their money.
I feel
that's very important.
I feel the loan apps can do better. There are ways that
Nigerians that change their identity.
there are ways that banks get their money back at the end of the day.
Banks ask for collateral. Banks ask for a lot of things that will make you traceable.
There are really banks that don't even ask for collateral for some loans.
But they make it traceable.
Yes.
So how about you have to provide this for them too?
I think
because their loans are quick cash. They say if you start the process now, in just 1 hour you get your money.
There are banks that do quick cash too. But I'm just saying that you have to have measures that you put in place that would involve my consent as well. Not like you go invade my privacy and just go to my contact list. Maybe somebody that I don't even speak to. I don't even want to know my business. You are sending message to the person that Oluwaseun Ibukun is owing me money.
Because you're owing them money. Isn't that why they kept Isn't that why they invaded your privacy?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, it's neither here nor there, but I don't know what you think about it. We'd like to hear your thoughts about it as well. I just feel that, if people are owing money, they should pay.
They should pay, but if I don't pay, you need to calm down. If you didn't think of doing your due diligence before you gave me the loan, then the loss is on you. You wait till I'm ready to pay you.
Wow.
Yes. You don't go about invading my privacy and sending messages to my list.
I'm going on break. I have to go on break on this one. I had enough. I'll take a break and be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Morning Splash. Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Ẹ̀yin ọmọ yìí, ó máa dá àkàrà nǹkan díẹ̀ sílẹ̀ fún Ramadan yìí. Ó yá kí ni kára.
Èso. Ewébẹ̀, ẹ má gbàgbé ìṣara lóore àwọn màmá o. 3 crowns milk.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, agolo mílìkì 3 crowns mẹ́ta.
Rárá o, 4.
Ó dáa. Torí kó jẹ́ màmá, ara agolo mílìkì 3 crowns mẹ́jọ.
Ìṣúra aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ làwọn màmá. Torí náà, fẹ̀mí ìmoore hàn sí màmá pẹ̀lú 3 crowns milk lákòókò Ramadan yìí.
3 crowns milk, ìlera àwọn màmá, ayọ̀ ẹbí.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ẹni lọ́jọ́ ìfúnni lábẹ́rẹ́ wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, pẹ̀lú abẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fún ìdáàbòbò ara ẹni yìí, a lè ṣeré ìfẹ́ fóṣù 3 láìsí fún ìyọyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀.
Bí báwo?
Màá fa ẹran itan mi, màá sì gábẹ́rẹ́ yìí sórí itan tí mo fà. Káde máa gbádùn ara wa lọ fóṣù 3 nìyẹn.
Abẹ́rẹ́ kẹ̀, ṣé èèyàn wà nínú ẹ̀?
Kò séwu ìfẹ́ mi, abẹ́rẹ́ tíntínní ni bí eléyìí.
Àkíkà, ó ti gun kódà ó mìíràn rárá.
Ṣé bí mo sọ fún ẹ?
Bó o bá fẹ́ lábẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fúngbà àkọ́kọ́, lọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ìlera fúngbà ní níyànjú. Fàlàyé nípa àwọn ọ̀nà mìíràn láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀. Tẹ ẹ̀rìn èjì ọ̀kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí Airtel. Kó o dẹ̀ tẹ ọgbọ̀n tàbí kó o lọ sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára discoveryourpower.org. Ìpolówó yìí wá látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó ń bójútó ìlera ẹbí, Society for Family Health. Pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ètò ìlera.
Oriflame Cynthia! That's me! Oriflame Cynthia! I thought you jackpot. Me? Unless you meant jackpot to go and place my 100 BP Oriflame order for this month. Abi, who no one grab brand new ride?
Brand new ride?
Yes! The Oriflame Grab Your Ride promo is here! And this is great news for everyone. Join Oriflame and buy products worth at least 100 BP monthly for 3 months from April 1st to June 30th. Then you stand the chance to win a brand new Hyundai Creta SUV! Oh, and that's not all. There's a whopping 100 million naira worth of major and guaranteed prizes to be won. In case you were wondering, 100 BP is simply 35,000 naira and you can buy to use or sell at good profits. So join Oriflame today to participate. Draw date is July 8th, 2023. The more you buy, the more raffle tickets you get and the more prizes you win.
Wait for me. Let's jackpot to Oriflame together.
See Oriflame Instagram and the website for details. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is approved by all promo regulatory authorities. Oriflame, changing lives.
When I wake up in the morning, I need something to help me start my day. Start my day.
6 has DHA. It helps my brain to grow. It helps me to be smart. Oh, Iron Milk Peak 456, yeah.
Ìyá ọlọ́gbọ́n. Èwo lẹ̀ ń ṣe?
Mo ń ṣe oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ pẹ̀lú mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè Peak 456.
Oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ pẹ̀lú mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè Peak 456 kẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ó ní àlékún DHA, èyí tó ń ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn ìdàgbàsókè ọpọlọ tó jí pépé. Bákan náà ló tún ní káṣíọ̀mù, fítámìn D àti onígá ńlá protein láti mú àwọn ọmọ rẹ dàgbà kí wọ́n sì lágbára.
Mo fẹ́ràn ẹ̀. Màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè Peak 456 tó ní àlékún DHA, èyí tó ń ṣàtìlẹ́yìn ìdàgbàsókè ọpọlọ tó jí pépé fi kún àwọn èròjà ìṣaralóore fún àwọn ọmọ mi.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Dàgbà kó lágbára kó sì jáfáfá pẹ̀lú mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè Peak 456 lójoojúmọ́.
Axa Mansard. Now better life I dey find. Now true one that always cares for me. Axa Mansard gives me more wellness for less. Now why every day I'm at my best, oh. No single stress, oh yeah. Mama, papa, brother, sister, eh. Axa Mansard be the answer. Uncle, auntie, family and friends. Axa Mansard be the answer. Giving more wellness for less, oh yeah. So who no go no, who get them us, yeah.
Enjoy more wellness for less with Axa Mansard individual, family or corporate health plans. Visit www.axamansard.com or call 0700 Axa Mansard to get started now.
So who no go no, who get them us, yeah. Axa Mansard be the way.
So special to us. Special to us. I can't afford a day without this goodness in a bowl, giving energy to make it stay golden. Golden Lord, so special to us.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ má jẹ́ kó wo náírà titun àti àìlègbówó yọ yín lẹ́nu. Hope wà lórí fóònù rẹ, ìfẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà wà ńlẹ̀. Torí náà, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fowó ránṣẹ́ sí màmá ńlé àbí láti ra owó ìpè fún Àbíkẹ́ láti fún oníbàárà lówó àbí tó oníbàárà bá fẹ́ fún yín lówó.
Ó wà lórí fóònù rẹ, ìfẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà wà ńlẹ̀.
Èèyàn mi, nọ́mbà fóònù rẹ ní nọ́mbà káàdì ATM àti nọ́mbà àkáǹtì rẹ o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, gbádùn ayé ìrọ̀rùn pẹ̀lú Hope Wallet. Tẹ *569*9# lórí fóònù rẹ kó o sì yan Open Wallet. Tẹ àlàyé nípa ara rẹ síbẹ̀. Ló bá tán, o ti ṣí àpò ìṣúná rẹ nìyẹn. Hope PS Bank á wá fún ẹ ní ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà ṣáńgílítì. Hope àṣeyọrí. Hope Bank nígbà gbogbo.
Ìmọ́tótó ló ní ṣẹ́gun àrùn gbogbo.
Láti dènà àrùn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru àti àrùn mìíràn, pàápàá nínú àwọn ọmọdé, fọ ọwọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ àtomi tó ń dà ṣooro. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, tó o bá lo ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ tán, lẹ́yìn tó o bá ti ṣàǹdí fọ́mọ tán, kó o tó ṣoúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ tàbí kó o tó fún un lóúnjẹ. Àti pé o, tí ọmọ rẹ bá ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru, fún un ní oògùn oníwóró zinc lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ àti ORS ní wákàtí mẹ́rin tàbí kí ẹ máa fún un díẹ̀díẹ̀ nínú ife. Èyí á jẹ́ kọ́mọ rẹ lè ní ìdápadà omi ara àtokun. Bákan náà, yọjú sílé iṣẹ́ ètò ìlera tó bá súnmọ́ ọ jùlọ láti gba ìtọ́jú fọ́mọ tó ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ ARIN, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
My people, this na the tori of Zainab. Na better food she dey chop to take start her day. Come show her body with the ogbonge one, the Dior syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. She don dey kampe, ready to go.
Joe, Anna.
Good morning, Zainab. That na why she dey shine well for work.
Abeg, pass me the script.
And even for play. The Dior syrup of hemoglobin get vitamin B12 and protein to help fight anemia, exhaustion and fatigue. Just knack 2 spoons of the Dior every day and na so you go just dey sharp rapa. You fit take am direct or you fit mix am with juice. Show say you be champion. Take the Dior.
To be healthy, strong and active, I say. Take the Jones.
The Dior syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. Now the power to unleash. Make una read the product leaflet o.
Techno celebrates your natural healthy glow without hiding your imperfections with a 32MP glowing selfie camera, G88 processor plus game turbo, hard-wearing stirring glass, and a 256GB plus 16GB large memory on the new Techno Spark 10. You will enjoy better mobile experience with bigger camera, among other upgrades. That's not all. Visit any Techno outlet to get the beautiful on-demand smartphone for your selfies and walk away with a Techno X Fireboy headset, up to 5GB data from MTN, and many more gifts. Techno, stop at nothing.
In my 25 years of practice as an obstetrician, I get asked a lot of questions from expectant and pregnant mothers. One regular question is, what supplement is good for me and my baby during pregnancy? I always recommend Oberon 6 because of the positive feedback I've gotten from my patients over the years. Oberon 6 contains essential minerals and vitamins necessary for the healthy development of baby and mother before, during, and after pregnancy. Give you and your baby the nutrients you deserve with Oberon 6. Oberon 6. Healthy mother, healthier baby.
Kadara, destiny. Who decides where we are born? Gangs of Lagos. Now the ogbonge tori of Isaleko Street King, Obalola and in gang. With better actor and celebrity them like Toby Bakari, Adeswai Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo, and plenty big names them. Hey, Gangs of Lagos, na correct film. Download Prime Video now. Make yourself enjoy 7-day free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, jackpot to Prime Video.
The holy month of Ramadan is here again. A month to submit to the will of Allah. A month to share, to care, and most importantly, a month of goodness. Start and end well with the goodness of peak milk at Sahur and Iftar to stay nourished every day.
Serve goodness this Ramadan with the delicious nourishment of peak milk every day. Ramadan Kareem.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ẹni lọ́jọ́ ìfúnni lábẹ́rẹ́ wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, pẹ̀lú abẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fún ìdáàbòbò ara ẹni yìí, a lè ṣeré ìfẹ́ fóṣù mẹ́ta láìsí fòyà oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀.
Bí báwo?
Màá fa ẹran itan mi, màá sì gábẹ́rẹ́ yìí sórí itan tí mo fà. Káde máa gbádùn ara wa lọ fóṣù mẹ́ta nìyẹn.
Abẹ́rẹ́ kẹ̀, ṣé èèyàn wà nínú ẹ̀?
Kò séwu ìfẹ́ mi. Abẹ́rẹ́ tíntínní ni bí eléyìí.
Àkíkà, ó ti gun kódà ò mìíràn rárá.
Ṣé bí mo sọ fún ẹ?
Bó o bá fẹ́ lábẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fúngbà àkọ́kọ́ lọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ìlera fúngbà ní níyànjú. Fàlàyé nípa àwọn ọ̀nà mìíràn láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀. Tẹ ẹ̀rìn èjì ọ̀kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí Airtel. Kó o dẹ̀ tẹ ọgbọ̀n tàbí kó o lọ sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára discoveryourpower.org. Ìpolówó yìí wá látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó ń bójútó ìlera ẹbí Society for Family Health pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ètò ìlera.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Welcome back. It's still Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. One of the story that was really making a lot of wave over the weekend was the response of Oluwaseun to Dati's interview on Channel Television and how the people began to respond to Oluwaseun and more like derobing Oluwaseun, on the internet. I read an article written by Dr. Festus Adedayo yesterday, and I'll just recommend the article to everyone who would like to read. It's in the cable newspaper. Is Soyinka the God unraveling? Is Soyinka the God unraveling? And we got talking after that was published, and he said, we can't blame this generation. One, they have no sense of history, and history as a subject have been taken away from them in school curriculum. Many of them never confronted physically the exploits of the Soyinkas and its likes. They're also very abhorrent to reading to discover satisfied with surface examination of issues. However, I do not believe in vain veneration and ancestral worship. Great as Soyinka is, he has taints, one of which is his dalliance with politicians. Yeah, so you can just go read and be able to make your judgment about this conversation. But one thing that I found very unpleasant in all of those arguments was the fact that we have not learned to disagree without being disagreeable.
Yeah, being objective.
Yes, we have not learned to disagree and, use decorous language to explain all your disagreement. Rather, we use such... imagine somebody calling Oluwaseun illiterate. How do you call such a man illiterate? Because of his position, even if he's tainted, even if he had done something that you feel is untoward, there's a way to tell him. I love the language of, first of all, that you're here.
Yeah.
He didn't venerate Oluwaseun. He didn't also praise him to the high heavens. He did not denigrate him. But he disagreed with him, on principle, and also talked about how this is a man that we should respect.
But I think it's high time the set people that he was talking to actually pay attention to what he was saying, because he's not just the first person that would say something in that line as regards the set people who happens to be obedient movement. Because one of the things that Oluwaseun talked about was how he was decrying what he described as the climate of fear that was being generated in the Nigerian politics since after the general election. And if there was points against what was said by Oluwaseun, I feel like they should know that you're talking to an academician, somebody that is definitely, if you do not believe that he's intelligent, he's definitely brilliant. So there's a way that you can say your point and then back it up and reply like a logical person would.
Yeah. Okay. So,
but of course, it was trolled, especially on Twitter after it came out. Definitely.
Chimamanda Adichie also wrote a letter to Biden, asking them to check again why they had to congratulate the president-elect. Also took a lot of trolling.
A lot of people asking that why would she be warning the U.S. president against congratulating the president-elect? What's that supposed to imply?
Well, I don't want to get into that fray. I moved away from it, but it's a news item you can also go read. Again, LP State Chairman disowned Lamidi Apapa insists Abure is national chairman. So Labour Party is in some kind of crisis right now, and I think this is not good. This is not good for them as a follow through the post-election tribunal.
Okay, let's check out this one from the Punch newspaper as well. I mean, a lot of medical professionals have been migrating in the recent years, and there's this one from Punch newspaper saying 5-year compulsory service for doctors will create crisis. And that comment actually came from the World Medical Association opposing the Medical and Dental Practitioner Act Amendment Bill, which seeks to compel medical and dental graduates to render 5-year compulsory services within Nigeria before they can be granted full license to practice.
Michael dealt with that issue on Saturday, a lot on State Affairs, and there have been discussion about it. We also talked about it on Thursday too. But I think the approach,
what's the purpose? To make sure that medical professionals do not get taught and then leave with the knowledge.
The idea around it is, first, is that we subsidize their training. The federal government subsidized their training a whole lot. And so the only thing they could do is not to just finish their study here, write PLAB, and then leave the country that way. They should be committed to giving back to the state, to the country that actually subsidize that training, which is a good thing to do. To say, okay, give back to the state that trained you and gave you some leeway in paying for your fees and cost of training. That's good. But the thing is, we should address as well the reason they are leaving.
Do you get?
That's for me the first
What are the reasons?
Why, if we are subsidizing their training, that's great as a country. But we should also train them in such a way that they will want to stay here and give back to the country, even without being compelled.
And it shouldn't even be made to seem like a bait to make them want to stay.
I think there should be incentive for them to wanting to stay. For instance, I'll say this. why can't we make sure that our institutions, particularly our health institutions, are well taken care of? They have equipment to work with at the minimal.
And what happens to the allocation to the health sector as well?
The percentage is very, very small. It's very small. I mean, you have 4.5% of our entire budget for health. And you need to know how much we spend on military hardwares, on the security and the rest, on subsidy. That we talk about. Anyway, 089-155-1055 if you want to join the conversation, because we just keep on talking. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you.
This is Ilori from Makpak.
Welcome, Mr. Ilori.
Those we call our leaders who are in the National Assembly and in the government, I don't think they think and they think deeply before they push out policy or push out a bill or whatever. If you are saying that they subsidize doctor, are they not subsidizing lawyer, engineer, accountants and co? Why did they not do same to all others so that we can know all of us being subsidized will use 10 years before we can be shattered or do whatever? Can you see the thinking? Instead of looking at what are the problems that is leading for people to jump out of Nigeria, you are looking at the shortcut. I would think these people will make us to Edo. Big lie. I think whether it's prayer or we people should think to get leaders that can think right and put things right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
009-155-1055.
Ajibakin Abiodun says, fuel subsidy is a serious matter that we must discuss because the rich ones have no worries, but the masses might feel the pain. Can the palliatives manage the aftermath effect of the subsidy at short term and long term? Hello, good morning.
Hello, Oluwaseun, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Oluwaseun Julius.
Hey, welcome, Oluwaseun Julius.
Ibukun.
Good morning.
We will not give you loan at all.
Yeah. You must give me, and I will not pay back if you don't take the necessary precautions.
Now, very quickly. Now, you see, when we want to look at it very well, the 2023 general election, especially the presidential election, to some people, they will tell you that that is the best election that has ever happened to Nigeria. And some people will tell you that election is full of trouble and calamity. But Oluwaseun, now, the statement by Dati on Channels Television that Soyinka is trying to come out and say other things. To me, I don't expect Soyinka to say that. Why? Because even before 2023 election, in 2015 or thereabouts or 2011, the current president, we know the statement he made. Now, people like Keyamo, people like Femi Fani-Kayode, we know the statement they made. Now, we know El Rufai, there was a time he said, some people will return back in body bags. Now, when they came during the election period. Now, for statements like this, it's just because if they themselves fall in that category, they will make statements that are even more worse than this. But finally, Oluwaseun, Reverend Cook has said a statement that you read this morning, and I went back, I read it, I've seen it. That statement is ambiguous. But 2023 election, the incoming administration needs a lot of healing to Nigeria, but the land is full of challenges. We pray and wish they succeed. Good morning and have a pleasant Easter Monday.
Thank you, Oluwaseun Julius. Good morning to you and have a wonderful holiday there. Falaye Jones says we should work together for good governance. What should we expect from the incoming administration? Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
go ahead.
Yes, you can go ahead, please.
I want to shed light on those loan apps. I don't know if I can mention names, but I'm a customer of one of them that says easy buy. Like 5 times I've bought their phone. But the last one I bought, the phone got lost before I finished paying. They were just sending me unnecessary message, threatening that they will put my name on social media, that people should see me as a fraudster. Well, I started it. Then another loan app, the anything just popped up. I wasn't expecting them to even approve the loan. It was 35,000. There was no terms and conditions. I was not told that I would be paying weekly. Can you imagine? So immediately I saw that, I refunded an installment, part of it. immediately. So later, I could not balance off because I'm a salary earner. So my salary has not come in and my payday has come. So I think CBN should ban some of them. And the ones that will be approved, Nigerians should know. And they should be giving us terms and conditions, the rate of interest. Like I'm telling you, practical experience. It just happened last 2 months ago. So there's no terms and conditions. You can't even know the amount of interest they will charge on you. So that is my contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I might even call you to get this story properly sometimes.
I'm even trying. I was trying not to stretch him, but how do you get a loan from somewhere and you don't know the percentage of interest, you don't know the terms and conditions?
This is quick cash.
Wow. Okay.
Hello. And how many people read terms and conditions in Nigeria? Do you read? Hello. Please don't just do the last call. Hello.
Good morning. The voice is low.
It's really pretty low. Hello. Good morning.
Okay.
Can I just take this last one, please? Hello. Just last one. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Charles, you have 30 seconds because my head may be cut off if you don't do that, please.
I have to rush. I have to really rush.
Please.
On the lady that wrote to bidding, I think she did the right thing because based on the irregularities in the election, I think it was wrong for them to have quickly sent the congratulatory message to. Then secondly, they are rushing. Secondly, on the loan app, I think the government is supposed to work in conjunction with the existing banks because these loan apps, except for very few of them, are very, very fraudulent. And if government have to approve, it should be just very few, like 20. But most importantly, government should work on the condition of living of Nigerians because taking loans is not a reliable source of living. If you look at Tunisia, they have to reject IMF loan. The president was saying they have to put the citizens into consideration before, and they even outrightly rejected the loan. So government should do something about it so that most Nigerians should not go into depression.
Okay. Thank you. You can join us at 8 o'clock. We'll follow this conversation at 8 o'clock so we can have more thoughts about it. Ibukunoluwa, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. We'll be right back by 8 a.m.
We'll be here at 8 o'clock. I'm Oluwaseun.
And I am Ibukunoluwa.
Morning.
Morning Splash. Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
ẹ̀yin ọmọ yìí ó máa dá àkàrà nǹkan díẹ̀ sílẹ̀ fún Ramadan yìí. ó yá kí ni kára.
èso ewébẹ̀ ẹ má gbàgbé ìṣara lóore àwọn màmá